Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101 live from Universal Orlando Resort. It's time for Case's movie review. As we mentioned, it was the first ride we all went on together, the E.T. ride. And Jimmy and Hammond said he's been on that ride with his family before and thought about Case being on that, not seeing the movie, and how weird it must have been. You're on these bikes flying through it and just seeing, well, we'll find out what he call E.T. My daughter calls him the frog. But thanks for checking in from Hammond today, Jimmy. And this is the movie review of E.T. And we started off as we always do.
For Christ's sake, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business.
What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
Utah. Give me 2.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand.
Now fry like bacon, you little freshman piggies! Fry! Fry!
Playing football in West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime, but I don't want your life.
Well, here we go. E.T. the Extraterrestrial released June 11th, 1982, with a budget of $10.5 million. The box office, Kenzie, on this one, $797.3 million. In the 80s, it made almost $1 billion, or at least since then, almost $1 billion.
That's insane.
That is ridiculous. I can't believe that level. That's like $18 trillion in today's money.
Yeah, that's how that math works out.
And something like
I don't
that.
need to pull out the inflation calculator. That was right.
Yeah, sounds about right. The film was a smash hit at the box office, surpassing Star Wars in 1977 to become the highest-grossing film of all time, a record it held for 11 years until Spielberg's own Jurassic Park surpassed it in 1993, which is something we experienced yesterday as well. Unbelievable, the Velociraptor experience.
Oh, my gosh.
So good.
So the encounter. So it's a Velociraptor encounter?
Yeah.
Very realistic, so much so they said, we're going to bring the adults. How about you guys leave your kids?
Tell the kids
what I'm talking about.
Just like in the movie, run the other direction, kids, run.
That's
right. The film holds a 99% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on 146 reviews with an average of 9.2 out of 10. And just to look forward a little bit, next week, Case will review Taxi Driver, the Robert De Niro classic, for its 50th anniversary. So a lot of big anniversary movies coming out. But we'll start like we always do, where we will play you the trailer of how E.T. was advertised way back in the day.
The arrival, the search, the desertion, the discovery, the wonderment, the hope.
I'm keeping him.
Universal Pictures presents the new film from the director of Raiders of the Lost Ark, Steven Spielberg's E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Rated PG. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
Oh, the chills. I love this movie to death. I'm curious what Case, a 26-year-old, seeing it for the first time. And by the way, we just mentioned all these rides and what's going on here. We have just about, I'd say, 7 minutes away from a chance at the final qualifier for a trip to the Universal Orlando Resort from Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We'll draw the winner this hour. Case, what'd you think of E.T.?
I was nervous for this one. You know, anybody that's heard some of my prior reviews know that I struggle with 80s movies. I find the 80s to be a decade that I just do not enjoy whatsoever. And I didn't know a lot about E.T., so watching this, knowing what it was, the highest grossing movie of all time when it came out, was a pretty daunting task.
I know. We got a text from Allie Maxwell because this movie means a lot to people. And she goes, I've been nervous about reviews in the past, but this one, I am terrified. Wait.
That's such a funny emotion. They're nervous for the review. That's
They
so
are,
funny.
and I'm going to explain why. Because she also wrote, I have grown to deeply adore Case, but think he's pretty awesome.
Grown to.
But negative talk about E.T. is like a major deal breaker.
Oh, good Lord.
So I don't know if you're going to lose. Don't mess up the show. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, it took a long time, Case, for her just to kind of like you.
Yeah, to warm up to me.
To warm up, and now this review could just take her back a century.
Well, it's an interesting movie. All I knew going in about E.T. was I knew about the Reese's Pieces, and I knew that E.T. was like a fat, bald alien. But I didn't know much else about
body
the
shaming
movie.
at the beginning is tough.
Well, am I wrong?
Well, the thing is, you say fat, bald alien. You can't compare aliens' bodies yet. We haven't seen enough of them.
Well, I can compare him to a human body.
Right.
And,
But,
and E.T.'s, he's pretty thick.
so you compare a giraffe's body to a hippo's
Not
body?
all of them, just in the middle, like a beer drinker.
I mean, they're different, different species.
But if I compare E.T.'s body to my body, I have to say, at this current stage of my life, I'm a little thinner than E.T. is.
Okay, but put some respect on him, because last year you couldn't have said that. So be nice.
So this fat bald alien movie.
Okay.
So what's interesting about E.T. is that I would say for most of the movie, and this isn't even necessarily a critique, it's just an observation, nothing happens in this movie. There's no dialogue for the first 8 minutes of this movie. There's really no action for the first 6 minutes. I was keeping track as I was going along. It's just a lot of rustling around in the woods and lights flickering here and there, and some kids are looking for what they think is a coyote, but it turns out to be a bald, fat alien. And I feel so bad for the kids that discover E.T. If I was Elliot, I would have grown up to have had severe trust issues, because he tells his parents, like, hey, just so you guys know, there's an alien in the shed. And the mom's like, oh, it's probably a coyote. They gaslight this kid to an unbelievable degree, to a point that I wouldn't be able to trust anybody if I was him.
And just real fast, while we're talking about the kids, you do know that the little girl's Drew Barrymore.
No, I did not know that.
Gertie is Drew Barrymore.
You didn't pick that up even from watching it?
No.
That's Drew Barrymore. Gertie is Drew Barrymore.
Because we're on the road this week, I didn't do the normal, like, normally I watch the movie and then I do a ton of research, but I didn't have time.
He was like, I went on the ride. I think I'm good. I think I about have it.
What happened was, I watched the movie last night while I was drinking my milkshake. The second the movie was over, I was asleep, so I didn't
Holding the milkshake like a rock star.
I was pouring it out of the carpet by accident. So, no, I did not know Drew Barrymore was in this movie. I was wondering why she was famous. Is it from E.T.?
That was a really big launching point.
She has a family history of famous actors from, 100 years ago. Her like grandfather was in It's a Wonderful Life, which you've seen. He was the mean man in It's a Wonderful Life.
I have seen that movie.
Yeah, you have.
Okay.
You saw it last Christmas, a year ago.
We
Christmas.
talked about it here.
Yeah, on the show we talked about that.
It's on the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
Yeah, but Drew Barrymore also. This is probably her launching pad as an actress. Probably, yeah.
I just thought that was an important note.
No, that's good, because I have in my notes here, quote, I like when that girl finds E.T. because then they all start yelling in a really funny way, because the kids sort of discover E.T. in the house one by one. And when Drew Barrymore gets there, they're all yelling, and it's really funny.
And then when this, quote, fat, bald alien starts yelling, too, it's really weird.
Man, that guy's got a voice on him. The pipes on E.T. It's crazy, because I guess because it's the 80s and because I had to suffer through the Goonies last year, which for those that are maybe new to the show, we've been doing this. It's almost 2 years. The first week of March will mark 2 years since we've been doing these movie reviews. And unequivocally, the worst movie that I've watched ever for the show or otherwise is the Goonies.
We lost some listeners over that one, too, by the way.
But you know what? I stand by it. The show's doing just fine. So, but I thought this would be a lot like that, and that it would be like a screwball comedy. It would be really goofy and really cheesy, and it would be comedy that maybe is meant for like 7-year-olds but doesn't age well to a 26-year-old like myself. Instead, one, this movie has way more heart than I was expecting, which we can get into in just a minute. But this movie's funny. When E.T. goes downstairs and gets the robe and cracks open the Coors and starts drinking TV, that's hilarious.
Yes, it is.
I wanted the whole movie to be E.T. in the bathrobe, hanging out, cracking open a cold one.
Yeah.
It's like he's watching TV the way Beavis and Butthead watch TV, and I wanted the whole movie to be that. I wanted it to like light up a joint. I was like, E.T., get comfy, man. You've been in space for so long. Get down to Earth, crack open a cold one.
They should have done a sequel, E.T.'s Excellent Adventure, and then a side movie.
It's a stoner comedy with E.T.
Pineapple Express.
So I have to say that off the bat, despite perhaps his weird body shape that certainly wasn't helped by him drinking, and although I don't really understand what happened with the... Like, there's the scene where the kid's in school and then E.T.'s drinking the beer. And I don't really understand what happens in that scene, because they start throwing, like, he turns on Tom and Jerry, but then the kids start throwing frogs out the window. And I don't really understand what happened in that scene, but I liked it. It was fun to look at. Do you know what scene I'm talking about, Kenzie?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what happened?
I haven't seen this movie since I was 6.
Okay.
So I don't know if my 6-year-old breakdown is going to be as insightful.
Brian, you said you love this movie. Do you know what I'm talking about? When they throw the frogs out the window, they're in science class, and they're like kissing each other, and then they throw frogs out the window. Do you know what happened there?
What? I don't remember. I don't know exactly what happened either. I don't remember. I don't.
Okay, maybe it was higher art that I wasn't meant to. Maybe it's abstract art. I don't know. But it's funny.
Well, I'm just still taken aback with how much you thought the beer scene was funny, and then how had a lot of emotion. This is a crier movie.
Well, everybody kept on telling me, like, we have people that work in our office that when I said I was watching E.T. this week, they were like, oh, I cried at that movie. And I was like, what could you possibly cry about? And then I saw him in the bathrobe drinking the beer, and I laughed so hard I cried. I go, now everybody must be crying during that scene. That's really funny.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of heart to E.T. that I think we can discuss after we hook people up with a trip to Universal Orlando Resort and get them on that E.T. ride.
Because you have to get on that ride. It's
Which
fabulous.
is so fun. I love that ride.
So here's what we're doing right now. And he will have to finish the fully finished review of E.T. But we, Brian and Kenzie and Q101 are sending you right here where we are now, our last day here, to Universal Orlando Resort. Caller 10 right now, 312-591-8300, has a chance at the grand prize trip, which will draw that winner coming up in just about 25 minutes. So one lucky winner gets one trip for 4 people here to Orlando, Florida, provided by Spirit Ground. That'll be the airline, the ground transportation between airport and hotel. You get that. You also get the 4-night stay at Universal Terra Luna Resort, admission to Universal Studios Florida, Universal Islands of Adventure, Universal Volcano Bay, the water park, plus a 1-day at Universal Epic Adventure, the newest, most incredible park in the world. And you get all that, 312-591-8300. Call right now, caller 10. You get a chance at that trip that will draw before we get out of this hour with Brian and Kenzie on Q101 live from Universal Orlando Resort.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We have our last qualifier for our trip to Universal Orlando Resort. We've been broadcasting live all week. So that's the last qualifier this week. To remind you, we're doing this for the next 5 weeks, right around this time at 8:10. We'll ask for qualifiers, and on Fridays we will draw the winner, meaning in just about 15 minutes, just after 9:30, we will draw the winner of the first 4-night trip from Brian and Kenzie and Q101 and the great Universal Orlando Resort. You will get to come here and experience what it's been a joy. This whole last 3 days has been amazing. So, again, 5 weeks of this coming up at 8:10, but we'll draw the winner shortly. And we want Case to wrap up and give the final conclusion and any more final comments on E.T. as he got to ride the ride and not knowing the movie. Our first day here, our first minute in the park, that's what we did. And Case, where are you at now with this movie?
Well, I want to clarify because I was talking about the frog scene earlier, and I was a little confused on what was happening there where the kids were throwing frogs out the window, and I want to thank Elizabeth at 708 for checking in because she said, Case, E.T. and Elliot are bonded, which that was a whole big revelation in this movie. She said, so when he's getting drunk, Elliot's in science class feeling tipsy. When E.T. sees the romantic TV scene, Elliot kisses the girl, and that's how the frog stuff comes into it as well, where they're trying to free the frogs from the dissection. So on my first viewing of E.T., because it is such high art, I didn't know if I don't think I fully put all of that together, but I do appreciate these 7,000 people that checked in to explain the frog scene to me on the text line. I understand E.T. a little bit more now. As I speed run through some of my final notes here, yes, it turns out that E.T. and Elliot are connected, which is crazy. The odds of you being connected to an alien. I mean, maybe we're all connected to aliens and we just don't know who our aliens are.
Our other bald, fat aliens haven't arrived yet.
Yeah.
But his
where's
did.
my bald, fat alien? You know what I'm saying?
On the way. Probably hovering over the place right now.
So again, the parts of E.T. that I enjoyed the most are when E.T. is the most human. I really like when the mom comes home from the grocery store and the daughter, who apparently is Drew Barrymore.
No, not apparently.
100%.
Wants to show the mom E.T., but the mom opens the fridge door and smacks E.T. with the fridge door and he topples over. And then every time, like, E.T.'s about to be in front of the mom turns around and then they keep on missing each other. And it's a really fun cat and mouse game. It really delivers. And if I was the mom and I would have saw E.T. then, I would have been like, oh, great, my kids brought home a fat, bald alien. I'm so excited. The problem is that when the mom finally finds E.T., he's all sick and gross looking.
Yeah,
and
sad.
We all go through our struggles, but man, when he got sick, he looked gnarly.
Not good.
It made me sad too. I wanted the guy to have some pep in himself. I wanted to get a Coors Light and light up a joint and have a good time.
Well, maybe
Such a kind alien.
Well, maybe that's showing the scary and depths of alcohol. You know, his sickness.
Is he in Motley Crue now? He's having withdrawals?
It's behind the music. He was mainlining Coors Light.
Coming up next on Behind the Music, E.T. bites off more than he can chew.
And later, he's resurrected.
Hangs out with Motley Crue.
So he E.T. gets sick. Elliot gets sick. My jaw dropped when the astronauts show up to the house to quarantine the house. Because it's, despite being a movie about an alien, it's, I would say, somewhat grounded in reality. And then, boom, astronaut at the door. And I go, wow, I was not expecting that. So they put them in these little pods. Elliot starts to get better. E.T. starts to get worse. They find out they're connected. Oh, my God, all of a sudden E.T. is better because Elliot's, like, nice to him or whatever, which is really the ultimate medicine, kindness.
Right.
And then at some point they ride a bike in the air, and then
hence the ride we were on was on bikes.
There's the bike. I thought it was like a Lance Armstrong thing for a while. I was so confused, but no. Turns out they have like a floating bicycle, and then E.T. goes back into he phones home, and he's gone.
E.T. phone home.
That sounded like the Emperor.
You don't like that?
That was mean.
What?
E.T.'s nice.
No, I mean that's how he does. E.T. phone home, Elliot. That's my E.T. impersonation.
But you're just you sound a little mean.
Oh.
I wouldn't let you in my house if you were an alien.
That's true.
Kenzie, can I come in?
No.
I'm a nice, fat, bald alien.
You were almost 100% right for alien. It's just you now.
Let's just say that's no Johnny Carson of yours.
No, I'm sorry.
But E.T., it's really funny when E.T. is being a human. It's really sad when he gets sick. It does not have the corniness that a lot of 80s movies are plagued with. I think the technology of it with all the restoration they've done, I think that holds up pretty well. I have to be honest, I was kind of dreading watching this movie. I thought I was going to hate it. I think you, Brian, you thought that I was going to hate it.
I did. Because he talks about he doesn't like Stranger Things and the 80s Goonies stuff, and I thought this is based, the inspiration for Goonies or for Stranger Things was this movie and other movies like it.
Right.
In the 80s, in this era.
That's energy.
Spielberg stuff.
Yeah, well, this movie was very, very enjoyable. Not in the pantheon, not an upper tier movie I've ever watched, but the next time I'm flipping through AMC and I see that E.T.'s on, I'll pop in for a little bit. I want to see the guy drink a beer again. That was fun.
That's a good guy.
Yeah. So I'm guessing I think the rating's going to be decent. What are you going to rate it on?
Fat Bald Aliens.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
So look, it's not a movie that made me cry. It's not a movie that I'm obsessed with. I don't feel like E.T. changed who I am as a person, but it's a good, strong 7 fat bald aliens out of 10 movie. This is a nice movie. If you haven't seen E.T., and I know everybody in the world has but me, if you haven't seen E.T., this is worth the watch. I thought it was a nice movie.
And the ride is 10 fat bald aliens out of 10.
Amen, sister.
Yeah, the ride's incredible. So I assume Allie's still a listener and still likes Case then after that review. 7.5 is a good rating.
So.
That's 7, not 7.5.
Oh, damn it. 7 is still a good rating. That's a really good rating. There you go. Case's movie review of E.T. If you came in at the end of it, go back to the podcast. You can hear the whole thing. Coming up here, we will draw a winner after all the qualifiers this week of a incredible exclusive trip from Brian and Kenzie to Universal Orlando Resort. We have a couple other things to get to as well in music entertainment news. Some new music dropped at midnight you have to hear. So that's coming up in about 3 minutes, and then we will get to the winner on here before we get to 9:40 with Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning, and Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.